Hi, all. I'm Ron, author Ron, and I'm here to talk a little bit more about my book, Rise and Shine Anxiety, Depression, and Life Management Tools. And that, again, is the fifth edition, the final touch document. And this is the final. I'm not going to make any changes to this. It does not need it, it's got everything. Now, this is a different twist than what I was saying about before. Why this book is so comprehensive and complete and as a total mental health approach for our mental health and our well-being is because it lines up with what the Bible says. And the Bible says we got to take care of our temple, mind, body, and spirit. And spirit is the most important one aspect in our lives, and it's all about God and Jesus. And going the Christian way is the best way, so there's no additional regulations, requirements beyond what the Bible says, which a lot of religions do, like Catholicism, where I thought I had to be perfect for God. They just project a different approach to think what it takes to be good for God, and to be human, and to think we have to be perfect for God is almost ridiculous. So that's what I got caught up in. But in the first video on my fifth edition of the book, I go into that a lot more further, to understand what it takes to be good in the eyes of God, which is the most important question to be asking. But this also considering the fact that how it aligns with the Bible. It also aligns with the Bible, and what I wrote is the fact that it emphasizes hard work and diligence. And that's something we tend to forget, and sometimes we tend to forget what the Bible says about working on mind, body, and spirit. Okay, now some people think it's that our spirit, our spiritual growth, and faith growth is all we need in life. Well, for some, if they're relatively positive in life and stuff like that through life, that might be more than good enough. Eating well, exercise, we know that game. It certainly does not help or hurt. I'm sorry. But the positivity tools of this book, I can't express to you how important they are. And what it is we need to get going on the right foot and the right track in life. But because of the fact that often we're all subject to genetics, and genetically speaking, when we're laid in the crib from mom, that we came from, of course, love moms, we realize that, well, we know that genetically speaking, and from a psychology perspective, we're born with either a negative or a positive mindset, and our brain and body chemistry causes that to happen. Anyway, and from that point on, how we relate to things, how we react to things in life, negatively or positively, sets us up how well we're going to do in life. And that could go on for a long time. And if we're negative, unless we make adjustments, we're going to be in trouble. Because as we continue to get older, we start thinking more and deeper and stuff like that, and more thoughts and more negativity piles up, and then we start beating ourselves in submission with negative self-defeating self-talk that buries us in anxiety, depression, where we feel like we can't go on. And could I go from that to the Bible and have a leap of faith and be okay? No, I could not. Most people can't. And I'm not alone here. Please understand. No matter what age we are, we gotta work on ourselves. Now, as far as our desire to work on ourselves, as the Bible says, it emphasizes again, like my book does, hard work and diligence. And we don't like to work on ourselves. And for me, through 46 years of my life, I kept on doing the same thing, expecting things are going to change. You know what the term for that is? Is insanity. Yes, that's insanity. And that's how we get caught up with that. Every one of us, to a certain extent. Okay? Until we realize we got to turn life around, or we're going to be in trouble. I mean, loss of life and stuff like that. For me, I knew if I didn't change at age 46, then I was going to be dead. There's no way I could keep on going around in life with this negative self-defeating self-talk and all this negative rubble. It was just killing me. The positivity tools, what it does, it changes the way we think, operate, and react to things, to underreact to everything. Huge. Huge influence. It's a repetitive training is what it takes to change that mindset from negative to positivity, and it flat out works if we're willing to work on ourselves. It allows us to drill down to our individual negative thoughts and sources of our negativity, which is the root cause of our issues. Okay, and to change it up from negative to positive. Because when you do that, it just normalizes our brain and body chemistry, and we're not thinking negatively. We don't have this negative rebel. It's blocking us from thinking about things that are really important. And this is the first time we're able to get comfortable in this world, likely, for the first time ever, for sure, for me, to get used to people, things, conflicts, issues, jobs, you name it. To put a smile on the outside of the body, and which begins to match the smile that we form in the inside when we get better and better with this process. It's a 12-week process, and what I tell people is, what is 12 weeks out of a whole lifetime? Nothing. What you get out of it, the dividends are huge, and the most important thing about that whole thing is often, we're blaming God and stuff for the issues that we have and stuff like that. Okay, but we're no longer doing that with this process, and what this does, it provides like an enhancement of faith, a stepping stone to greater faith. Because when we have that clarity of thought, we're able to connect with everything that much stronger, and we'll be looking, we'll be looking up and go, can't forget about you, God and Jesus. It's all about God and Jesus. And when you bring that in as our foundation, which is the basis of our positivity when we get that right, and the basis of our negative when we don't, it's just a beautiful thing. And that's our moral fiber. We got to have that. And of course, for when it comes down to depression or serious levels of depressions or matters outside of control, nothing else is going to help. Now, I had the anxiety, OCD, deep depression for 25 years. Okay. I went through, I tried to commit suicide twice, highly suicidal, went through 4 psych wards. And it was, what they tell you is pretty much before you know it, is what not to do about it, mental health. They feed you medication like candy. There's never going to be a magic pill. Never going to be a quick fix and any of that stuff or shortcut. And they never ask you about your faith and foundation, which means they don't understand life or what it takes for a well-being mental health. It's pretty pathetic. That means they never really paid attention. The mental health community never really paid attention to what the Bible says. Isn't the Bible important? Isn't it what our God, our Creator, has provided us through prophecy and all that stuff, and to address to us how we're going to live our life, how best to live our lives, how to control our free will, or how to make a choice about our free will. Are we going to live life living by the flesh, which leads to a meaningless, empty life? And which ends up with the destruction of lives and families, or we're going to live our lives to please the Spirit, which results in everlasting life and peace and joy on this planet Earth. Well, I know which way I chose. And anyway, and again, my book, it evolved to be aligned with the Bible. That's why it's so strong. Well, I think, and about the game of eating well, exercise. I think I said that before, but when we're young, we start working on ourselves, and we start eating well, exercise with the hope that all this negative clutter in mind disappears. It helps, but it's not the complete answer by any means. And we'll know that before too long. God will show us. Tough love, it's called. Anyway, God bless you all. You have a great day. And please understand how important this is, and God bless you. And looking. Oh, please do me a favor. Go on the Amazon site on Rise and Shine Anxiety Depression. Rise and Shine Anxiety Depression.net site on a browser, and go on there and go to the Amazon site. Pick the book and read the preface summary in this book, which is a great way of looking at what the whole book is all about. And then you can make a decision for you or your loved ones, as I say at the end. Anyway, God bless you all. Goodbye.